Have you ever thought that what you consider your flaw could actually be your gift? Each of our traits can be expressed either in one way, which is in a constructive way, in a healthy or even exalted way, and or in another way, which is in detrimental, harmful, or toxic. And I myself used to think that I had a problem. What do you think it was? I had, and I still do have, an active mind. And I used to think that this is not good. There is something wrong with me. Because in the past, I was heavily into and was heavily identified with the spiritual persona or spiritual ego, call it however you want. And at that time, there was this belief systems in the spiritual communities, probably still are, that people who are mental or too much in their head, well, they need to be fixed, yeah? Because they're not living from their heart, they're living from their head, like stuck in their egos. And at that time, I was also a lot into Eckhart Tolle's teachings of presence, being present, thoughtless states, trying not to identify with my own thoughts, and trying to become a vessel where things can flow through me. And I really tried to become a good meditator. And I thought that people who were more in their heads were less spiritual. Quality that was less admired by me. But later on, I realized that part of me was also using this spiritual persona as a spiritual bypassing or escapism. Paradoxic, huh? To avoid certain responsibilities and use it as a way so that I don't need to look at certain areas or problems in my life. This type of living, my spiritual persona, made me more passive. It allowed me to justify my lack of action, and it served as a resistance to the acknowledgement that my active mind could actually be used as a gift, because at that time I had no thoughts or ideas that my active mind could actually be used for a good cause in a constructive way. I thought that this was actually an obstacle. While there is partial truth to the statement that people often live too much in their heads due to the trauma that blocked their hearts, that's not the full picture, yeah? Because we need both an open heart and an open mind. Both need to work together. There is no one or another, but both. Without our minds, we wouldn't survive. And if we look at some of the greatest humanity's creations, well, we used our minds. Mind itself is not a problem. What we need to look at is our state of consciousness based on which our mind runs. There are so many people, talented people in this world that have been diagnosed or labeled ADHD or some other acronyms, he's hyperactive or whatever. What if that's not a burden, but a gift that needs to be steered in a different direction? Because our energy wants to be expressed in the right, aligned way. If we are in tune with what wants to come through us, what wants to be created through us, we will live a healthier life. If you can relate to what I was just sharing, I ask you to embrace your authentic expressions, your needs, your desires, your inclinations. Embrace them. Use them for good. Don't shut them down. You were sent here for a reason. You're a gift. And I know that for many of us, we feel pressured or judged by the society. Not just the distant people that we don't know, but also our close relatives, often and friends, who don't believe our chosen path. Now I want you to listen very, very carefully right now, what I'm about to say. The worst thing that you can do with these inner inclinations that you have is to stay passive, suppress them, do nothing, because you're here to build stuff, you're here to create, do some epic shit. If you are ignoring this inner urge or calling of exploration or expression, the things are going to get worse and worse gradually. Like literally, people die when they don't follow this and listen, because they are literally fighting against themselves. The energy that wants to be expressed is literally burning them from the inside. And our body, our mind, our emotions, they always signal that. So pay attention. What we need to do is we need to start to channel this internal energy in a meaningful direction. I've seen so many people, unhappy, unfulfilled people, shallow shells of themselves, who are literally dead men walking because they didn't follow this. They didn't participate in life more. They didn't discover new unknown possibilities and opportunities. They didn't say yes to this and that. They end up being bitter, resentful, regretting their life. Slowly but surely and gradually dying from the inside out. Men, we literally don't have any other option. Like, our lives literally depend on this. This is a fucking urgent call for action. I want you to write in the comment section what perceived flaws that you think you have could actually be some of your greatest gifts. Comment down below. You deserve to live the life that you want to live. So I encourage you to take one tiny act of courage today, one small step towards that direction.